Frontline leader development is different than other levels of leaders with, and so having a different approach for different types of leaders in your organization is really important. Both because it helps you in terms of the performance of those different types of leaders, but also it helps those leaders feel like that they have a plan that's specific to them, and it doesn't feel like they're putting on a jacket that just doesn't quite fit. So when you think about a frontline leader, the way that I describe this is the leader that is leading the most frontline people. So depending on how many levels are in your organization, that can look very, very different. So for larger organizations with multi-level hierarchical structures, then you can have more of a supervisory role or a team lead role, often that is doing the work alongside your folks, and then they're leading a little bit too. As your organization is smaller or that hierarchical list is compressed, you end up having maybe higher level leaders that are still frontline managers of employees at the front line. So considering that also is important to think through what type of frontline leader do you actually have? What's important to realize, though, is that frontline leaders, regardless of the size of the organization, they are going to be holding a lot more tactical work. They are responsible for those within their team producing very tactical work often, and maybe a lot of repetitive work from time to time. So their mindset and the things that they're focusing in on day to day are process improvement oriented. Are we meeting these goals that are making this thing and this thing and this thing move forward? They're also thinking probably within a 3 to 6 month time frame. They're not looking significantly beyond that. So when you think about development for them, think about what people that are needing those things need most. So definitely people management skills, because of course they're managing people and they're leading people, but also thinking about like, how do I help them to not necessarily like systems thinking and big operational pieces like this and casting, big wide vision. It might be, how do I set goals for my team? How do I think through the upstream and downstream impacts of the work that I do and look across the organization at different sides to see what are we receiving, what impact could we give, maybe collaboration outside of my team here and there. And so that might be an important skill. Also thinking through, how do I move performance? How do I influence performance in the next 3 to 6 months? How do I set up measures of success? How do I set clear expectations? Those are the pieces that are going to make the most difference to a frontline leader group. That doesn't feel like that they're reading a fantastic leadership book, but then they have to spend the effort figuring out how to apply it to their day. They need practical examples. They need tools. They need, hey, when you sit down and have a coaching conversation, ask this, bring this up, do this with your team. It's really helpful because they are carrying so many day-to-day activities. It's hard for them to sit back and really consider and think about the strategic angle. And so you can give that as a growth edge and an opportunity, but the bulk of their development needs to be focused in on the things that they're doing daily.